101% from 28 to 59. Gauteng, an increase of 58% from 24 to 38%. Western Cape, an increase of 57% from 14 to 22 fatalities. Northwest, an increase of 50% from 8 to 12. During this Easter period, 61,342 motorists were charged with various offenses, including failing to wear seat belts, use of cell phones while driving, speeding, and overloading. More than 2,800 motorists were arrested for drunken driving, inconsiderate, reckless, and negligent driving, possession of false documents, and driving without licenses and public driver's permits. 7 motorists were detained for driving at excessive speeds above 160 km an hour on 120 km zone. This included a motorist who was arrested on N6 in Reddersburg in the Free State, driving at 227 km an hour, while another was caught driving at 225 km an hour on the N1 in Pretoria. These are examples of the West, among the West motorists who have no regard for road rules and the risk they pose to other motorists who obey the rules of the road. Our courts will show them no mercy and will give them the harshest penalties permissible. Ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that there are severe consequences for the road rule offenders, we are at an advanced stage in negotiations with the Department of Justice to finalize the introduction of the minimum sentences for negligent and reckless driving. This is done in order to seek to reclassify drunken driving from a Schedule 3, which is less severe, to a more severe Schedule 5 offense, to ensure that those who negligently cause crashes on the roads do not get bail easily and spend time behind bars. The Department of Transport published amendments to the National Road Traffic Regulations in November last year, aimed at regulating the transportation of persons in the load bay of light delivery vehicles for reward. The regulations will come into effect next month in May 2017, and they will assist in the reduction of the number of passengers dying in collisions. Amongst the overarching intervention is the approval of the National Road Safety Strategy 2016 to 2030 by Cabinet. This addresses the challenges and gaps identified by the department on the implementation of the previous road safety strategies. Equally important, we have started a parliamentary process led by the Portfolio Committee on Transport to extensively consult on the ARTO Amendment Bill, which will introduce a demerits system intended to improve the conduct and behavior of drivers on the roads. We call upon all relevant stakeholders to participate in making submissions to the Portfolio Committee. Building on the previous and recent experiences, the department will continue to improve its enforcement policies and strategies and upscale public road safety education and awareness campaigns, which is our key component and driver of our road safety strategy. We do so informed by the fact that road traffic injuries are a global problem affecting all sectors of the society, and that they are a growing public health and social development problem. The burden also impacts heavily on our health system and social welfare, where more and more people rely on our social security net for survival. If all our road users prioritize road safety, the resources that government spends unwittingly on accidents amount to 147 billion rands annually, which is equal to 3.4% of the country's GDP. Over and above this figure, the Road Accident Fund spends 33 billion rand annually on payment of claims, which could be directed to other government priorities, which will go miles to address the triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequalities, thereby assisting us to increase the pace to achieve government radical socio-economic transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, despite these grim statistics, it is important to note that thousands of travelers obeyed the rules of the road and reached their destinations safely. I would like to commend those who cooperated with our law enforcement officers, traveled within acceptable speed limits, wore their safety belts, and avoided alcohol. We must always remember that improving road safety is a long project that requires the active participation of all citizens and interested formations. Although law enforcement did everything to plan for safer Easter period and authorities deployed their resources on the roads, ultimately, the responsibility for safety rests on the shoulders of all of us as a society. I therefore call on all citizens to exercise this responsibility to make South African roads safer. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the second session of our media briefing, where we will entertain seeking questions on the statement. As I've indicated earlier, we'll take questions from Victoria and we'll also go to Cape Town. We shall therefore entertain 5 questions, and then we're in Victoria, then we'll do the same in Cape Town. As you raise your hand, please indicate your name and the media institution that you represent. Thank you very much. I shall start here. Say the first, the second, third, fourth, and fifth. In that order, please. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Malungelo Boy from ENCA. Minister, if you could just clarify for us, you're saying that you are negotiating with the Justice Department. Tell us more about those negotiations. I don't know whether, is it for people who have been involved in car accidents and where people died that you want now to be charged in terms of Schedule 6, not Schedule 3?